What's going on? Welcome back to Trunks on the Outside. Today we are chatting about Lord of the Rings.
We are.
It's 25 years from the 10th of December this year. It'll be 25 years since Fellowship of the Ring came out.
That is insane.
Dude, we're old.
Yeah.
We're old.
Well, I mean, I will say I was 2001. I'd say I was 2 when that came out. So they have always been around for me, but I still feel like I grew up with them, if you know what I mean, because when I saw them as young as I could, and they were like still pretty new when I was a kid, and still like in the zeitgeist. People loved them, and obviously still talked about to this day. What did they mean to you?
All right, so I remember chatting to George about this recently. I got into Lord of the Rings because of the toys. So when they were bringing out when they were like hyping up the film, obviously for a Christmas release 2001, I remember going to Woolworths in Loughton and I saw this figure of this awesome elf with a bow called Legolas, and I was like, that is the coolest thing I've seen. He's got 2 daggers and stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? I bought it, and then on the TV, the trailer for it came out, and I was like, I need to go and see this film. And then I remember going to school and everyone was talking about it, and I had a friend in primary school that was like, yeah, I've read the books as well and they're really good. Like, you know, he was gassing it up to be this insane thing. So obviously I've gone in with high expectations of I just want to see Legolas. I just hope that he's the coolest character, because like, and he fucking, like, to me, he really was.
I think, he I'm struggling to say that he is the coolest character, but not because I don't think he's the coolest character, just because I think every single one of the Fellowship has their moment at being the coolest character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At some point in the trilogy, which is part of the reason why it works so well, is that, you know, it is Frodo's movies. We're talking about the trilogy as a whole.
Yeah.
It is Frodo's.
It's one film.
Yeah, in a way, it's part 1, 2, and 3. It is Frodo's story, it is Aragorn's story, but then at one point we're following it through Gandalf, and at one point it's Sam's story. We're seeing the story of Samwise the Brave, so it's like, works as a collaborative storytelling, because it feels like a game of D&D, because everybody has their skills and their weaknesses, and everybody has their moment of storytelling, much like when you're at a table of D&D, there's not one main character, because that would be so boring. It's everybody taking their turn to tell the story.
We wouldn't have D&D without Lord of the Rings.
No,
there's no way. Without
wouldn't.
That kind of, I know, like high fantasy existed before Lord of the Rings in its own merit, but I feel like when the Lord of the Rings trilogy of books came out, I think that really set the blueprint for how high fantasy would be portrayed going on. You know, like, elves weren't, you know, they weren't like Santa's little elves that were, you know, just in the workshop. They were, you know, these beautiful, elegant warriors that wore like these fucking sequin clothes that had all these like crazy armor, and then dwarves being like miners that live like underground and like all that kind of stuff. It all has stemmed from what I believe the Lord of the Rings. Like, it's all stemmed from that blueprint of high fantasy, you know? It's it's great.
I don't know that actual kind of official timeline of how these things influence each other, but yeah, I think J.R. Tolkien's writings brought that sort of fantasy to the mainstream, and then that then influence other things, and I'm sure then influence aspects of sci-fi fantasy as well, like that kind of adventuring. But yeah, it's crazy to think what stories we wouldn't have if we didn't have Lord of the Rings, or what fantasy would look like without the writings and art of J.R. Tolkien, because he did a lot of the art in the first books as well, like the maps and some of the kind of illustrations of the characters.
It's the language. The guy wrote an entire language, multiple languages even,
and made this, because what started with The Hobbit as just like a fun kids adventure then turned into like sophisticated high fantasy storytelling after that in The Lord of the Rings. So yeah, he kind of, I don't know what the face of fantasy literature was like back then, or if it was mostly kind of adventure books, but he made it a serious thing and then Peter Jackson took that and made it a cool thing.
The thing that I love about Lord of the Rings, like the trilogy of films anyway, is that even if you're like not into it, it's kind of like what Game of Thrones did for fantasy as well. Obviously Lord of the Rings came out way before, but most people have seen it and most people really enjoy it.
I think so, and the people that don't like the movies, their one criticism is always just it's too long, which I think is it's a bullshit criticism, because it needs to be that long because of the amount of storytelling and characters and world building there is in it. But I think that seems to be people's only criticism. People never criticize. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm saying this because I was on IMDb and Letterboxd earlier looking at 1-star reviews, because I thought that would be a funny segment of this episode. I couldn't find any that were like that funny. They were all just saying it's too long, but then half of them were saying like this was too long for me, but I can't, like the cinematography is beautiful, the settings are beautiful, and like the costumes are, I'm bringing up the costumes now, I was doing a lot of research earlier. I mean, this movie was made before kind of CGI really took over Hollywood and movie making. CGI in these movies was used as a tool for certain aspects, like the trolls, Gollum tracking Andy Serkis's movement, and like certain other like larger characters, the Ents and stuff, and the Balrog. But then for everything else, like the cities and the backgrounds and the sets, were all practical miniatures that were made, or as they called them, bigatures, because the miniature for Minas Tirith was actually like taller than an adult sized person. And
there was also a smaller version of Helm's Deep that you could walk around in. But it was still technically a miniature.
And they were able to do this because they started pre-production in 1997, 2 years before the actual principal photography started in late 1999. So they had 2 years of concept drawings of creating weapons and armor that the hundreds of extras wore. I don't know if there's another movie or another series of movies that have had that much prep put into them.
No, I don't think so. I vividly remember watching a video, I think it's on the appendices, of the two guys making the chainmail armor, and they're just doing every link by hand. And they're like, it's tiring, it's all this, but it's the best job I've ever had, just making all these costumes. And it's like, it's crazy, man, to think how much practicality was put into the suits. And to go back onto what you said about Ents, like being CGI, they were a practical thing. So there's a part of the appendices which is basically like showing like Merry and Pippin in that, and
did I make a boo-boo? Did I say that Ents were CGI when they weren't?
No, not at all, because I think their face, obviously when they're walking they are all of that kind of stuff, but I think for Treebeard a lot of it was physical, so it was all practical, and they like edited the mouth, I think, so it flowed more naturally.
Of course, because they've got Merry and Pippin sat on his shoulder and his head.
They're on like little bike seats, like in his hand, and he's like, it's the most uncomfortable thing. But yeah, I'm sure you can find the appendices online. Like if you're watching this and you've never seen that, just go and watch every single one of them. They're so interesting to see, how a workshop made everything, how the backgrounds of some scenes are just water paintings that were put up on a blue screen. Like, it wasn't like CGI generated backgrounds like we have nowadays. It was someone worked, just like in the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy, when we had the water paintings as the background, but they were a physical thing. Like, this is just a blue screen of that, and it's so cool to see how things are done back then, where I feel like everything nowadays is, that makes me sound old, but everything nowadays is very quick and very, cool, if we set up in this car park, we'll just put a blue screen on it and it'll be fine. And I'm not saying that Lord of the Rings didn't do that, because there is a scene just when they're about to go into the Mines of Moria that was shot in a car park, just with this big like pool of water to do everything with a bit of the blue screen and stuff. But it's the way that they did it, where it wasn't just completely blue screen, it was practical set, blue screen for like the background bits. I don't know if I just contradicted myself in that sentence, but
no,
you get what I mean.
But like the difference between that and modern day productions, I mean, we saw it with the Stranger Things, the last season of Stranger Things, was that like now a lot of the time they're filming this stuff on green screen, on blue screen, because they don't actually know where they're going with it. They don't know what they're putting in the background. They don't know what the end of the scene is.
Yeah.
They're like just kind of making it up as they're going along, whereas this was so planned out that they they obviously had some very good source material already. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, it's fine. It's the thing that I found really cool watching those behind the scenes things back is how they shot everything. Obviously, in our minds we're like, oh, they shoot it in like chronological order. They go from number 1 to number 3, and they end it like how they end it. But you know, Aragorn's first day on set was him fighting the Nazgul in Weathertop.
Yeah,
and he was like, I just got off a plane. Never used a sword before in my life. I had a crash course in a day by this swordsman, and he's just taught me all these things, and then we done it there. And it's like insane, cool as fuck. Like one of Gandalf's first days was.
I think his first day was. I think his like second scene that Gandalf filmed was him saying goodbye to the hobbits.
Yeah.
As he went on the ship with the elves, and because he hadn't read the books at that point, he had to ask Peter Jackson, what's my relationship like with these guys, am I close with them? And Peter Jackson was like,
you've only just been on the best adventure in the world.
Yeah. and then that's the performance that he gave after just being given like a rundown of his relationship with them, which is just like, yeah, absolutely nuts. As well, the scene when the Fellowship comes out of Moria after Gandalf has just died. Yeah. Spoilers. Apparently, none of them had even filmed with Ian McKellen yet, or like seen him in the costume or anything. So they had to pretend to, obviously not pretend, act, be so heartbroken about losing him. But none of them had actually met the actor yet and had that connection or filmed any scenes with him at that point in the film schedule.
Love that.
Yeah, I just found that out today as well.
It's so good. What version, right? Mm-hmm. Would you reckon? So someone's never watched Lord of the Rings before. They've seen it on TikTok. They've seen it on YouTube. They're like, oh my god, I need to watch this film. Or they're the complete opposite. There's someone that's never even heard of the Lord of the Rings, and you know you've got to show them the film. What version do you show them? Do you go theatrical or do you go extended edition?
Honestly, I'm saying theatrical for somebody who's never seen it before. I solely watch the extended edition. Me and Nick watch them about once a year, maybe twice a year, depending. Sometimes one of us will be feeling really low because of living in London, and that sucks sometimes. And we'll recognise that the other one just needs to kind of be in the Shire for a bit, so we'll watch the trilogy. But yeah, I think the extended editions are there for people who love the lore and the extended universe of Middle Earth. I think somebody who's not familiar with it could enjoy them, but I think, as I said before, most people's criticism is that they're too long. So I think theatrical, you've got all the good bits in there, and then once you've developed that love and obsession for Lord of the Rings, then watch the extended editions, because then it will be such a treat that you get those extra little bits in there.
Yeah, like imagine watching the theatrical version, being like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen, like I wish there was more, and then you can just be like, oh, there is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dude, I never believe, obviously, you know, people's attention spans are terrible now, but like back then, you know, a 3-hour film was like, holy shit, 3 hours?
Bro, try reading the books. They're boring as hell.
That's what I mean. I don't think they're long enough. There are points where I'm like, I need even more.
I want more.
Do you want to focus on you know, I don't know, what Merry and Pippin are doing even more? Cool, do that. Show me some Gimli and Legolas, more stuff, more than you already show us. Like, I wouldn't actually know what they could do. Obviously, you've got the I've not read the books, so the Tom Bombadil character, you can add that in. Cool. Well, I mean, I would love to see all of it. I actually do. I think they're just out of shot. I have them.
You've got the books.
Hardback as well, and I will read them.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and I will go back to what I said before. I have read the full trilogy. I read them when I was a teenager, and I finished them. And So therefore, I'm allowed to say that they are boring as hell. I'm not just.
Did you get made to read them? That doesn't make any sense. Did you read them at school?
I read them at school, but not for school.
Okay.
We had like a specified reading time in the morning every day, and I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings. So I tried it and I got through it, but fuck me, it drags, and it dragged at the time. I don't want people to think I'm a fake fan for saying this. I will go back and read them again, but they are told, the story is told very differently to how Peter Jackson tells it.
Gotcha. I like to see it as what's the correct way to say this? Like, it's not cancelable. Don't worry. It's it's something that will come to you when you need it. You know what I mean? It's like when you want to read The Lord of the Rings, it'll come to you.
Yeah.
But I think if you force yourself to read a book, it's like going slightly off tangent, but it's how I see like gaming. Mm-hmm. Like when you've got a backlog of games and you're like, oh, I've got to play these games before I do anything else. And it's like, well, they're not going anywhere. Like, let your mood take you to do whatever you want to do. If you're not ready to finish that game, don't finish it. Go on to the thing that you're interested in. So I think, when you're ready, Lord of the Rings is there, and it's always going to be there unless we die. But it will still be there when we die. So someone can read it.
Yeah, exactly. Like gaming, just like reading, is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to not be a chore to get through each chapter. So yeah, you'll find that time where Lord of the Rings is what you need.
Yeah. Speaking about gaming, did you ever play the Lord of the Rings video games?
Yes. Two Towers, PS2 game.
Unreal.
And Return of the King, PS2 game. Oh man, that sort of era, early 2000s actually had like good movie tie-in games.
Yeah, they don't do them anymore.
No,
they don't bother to do them.
I feel like the last ones we saw were for like in the lead up to Avengers. There was like an Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Thor tie-in games. Some of those were okay, but
I didn't mind the Iron Man one. I remember renting it from Blockbuster and being like, cool, I get to fly around as Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I wanted to do.
That's what you want, and just blow shit up.
Yeah, man.
But the Lord of the Rings ones, damn, were they good? Dude,
I think because so much like love went into them, and they got the whole cast back to do the voiceovers and stuff. And I remember in the Two Towers game, you could learn like the special moves or whatever. I think one of them was called like Sauron's Bane or something. It was like Aragorn's like special sword move. And it's like, you would see that in the game, and then you'd watch the film and be like, that's the move. That's the move that I learned in the game. Yeah. It's just, there was so much attention put into it. And I remember everyone got stuck on that. I think it's the second to last mission where obviously the wall's been breached in Helm's Deep. Mm-hmm. And it's like a horde kind of mode where you're defending the door.
Yeah.
To like stop the Uruk-hai from getting in.
I do remember this.
And even to this day, it's insanely hard.
Yeah. But games back then were merciless.
Yeah, but they made you want to replay them. And dude, I remember finishing Two Towers and being like, "Wow, that was incredible." And then I went back to the start and started it again.
Yeah,
and just kept on playing it because it was like one of those games that you could pick up and just I'm going to do a level. It took me like 10 minutes to do, but I'll do a level, and then you find your favorite levels and shit. And man, what a good time.
Did you ever play Lord of the Rings Conquest?
I did, by the same people that did Battlefront.
Yeah, that was a good fucking game as well. They need to remake that game in the updated graphics, like the new Battlefront game.
Oh man, could you imagine?
They could. Like, it's Warner Brother Games who own Lord of the Rings stuff. Netflix has just bought Warner Brothers, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I think they need to do an updated Lord of the Rings Conquest with like
a good multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly. And there was like the 4 different types of fight. So you could be like the sword fight, you could be an archer, you could be a rogue who could like go invisible and sneak up to people, and then you could be just like a battle mage as well, which is not a thing in Lord of the Rings at all. But it was sick. You just have a staff and you go around fucking shooting spells at people, and then you could like in the Isengard bit, you could unlock, like, if you got enough points, you could play as Treebeard as well.
Oh, sick. Yeah, dude, I remember that. I remember there was like I don't know if it was like a capture the flag mode or something similar.
Yes.
But I remember doing a lot of that. What a game, man. I'm sure it wasn't like the best game in the world, but I think for us when we were kids, it was just
No,
The idea of having a Battlefront Lord of the Rings was like, cool, take my money.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, it makes absolute sense. I wonder if I'm going to Google if they're making a new one and we've missed it.
I think they're making a new Lord of the Rings game, which is a story-based game. That sounds very silly. Story-based game. Yeah, I don't know whether it's just rumours at the moment, but they're like...
I feel like I heard of this and it was going to be like the same sort of thing as Hogwarts Legacy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for an open world Lord of the Rings. Like, if you want to go down that route, I know we were complaining about open world games recently. I think for an open world game with the Lord of the Rings, that's fine. That's good. I wouldn't mind walking to Mordor.
No.
Which you can do if you've ever played Lord of the Rings online. It's an MMO. But, not everyone wants to play a 15, 20-year-old game. They want to, play the new thing with the new shiny graphics, with the new...
Exactly. You got it. Like, I do, at least. I would love a Lord of the Rings game in the style of Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, I don't know if that will happen or if it's just fan theories. I don't know what the future of Warner Brothers games is now.
Did you play Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War?
Played a bit of it when I was ill last year, and I got really into it because I was on the sofa for like 2 days, and I got really into it, and I was like, "This is sick." And then, like a week later, I went to play it again, and it didn't hit the same because I was kind of out of the flow of it.
I feel like that's every time I've played it for a bit, and then gone on to something else, came back and been like, "Oh, this is kind of long."
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good. I know, like, Charlie really likes it. He loves it, both of those games.
There was like really cool aspects of it, and obviously the Nemesis system is something we've only seen in those 2 games, and I don't know if we'll ever see anywhere else. That was like really fucking cool. Some of the fighting was all right, but it was just kind of it felt just like a cheap Arkham copy, but reskinned to be Lord of the Rings. Not cheap, that's rude. I don't want to be rude about it. It was alright.
Did that come out before or after Arkham Asylum?
After, I think. Arkham Asylum was like 2011, I think. 2009, maybe. Arkham Asylum 2009, Arkham City 2011.
Are you searching this?
No, that's just off the dome. Was that right? Come on.
Arkham Asylum 2009.
Yeah, man.
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War, I'm saying 2014 or 2013.
2014.
Come on!
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they, like... I don't know what the word is. Trademarked, copyrighted or whatever, the Nemesis system.
They did.
That was, yeah.
So yeah,
Arseholes.
Nobody else can use it. Why would you do that?
I know. We've come up with this really cool idea. And we're only going to bring out 2 games and then no one else can use it. What a dick move.
So dumb. Let's talk about the casting in Lord of the Rings, because I think, that's as well as like the characters being so well thought out and having their own moments, I think the performances of each of the characters are perfect, I would say, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we've got nothing else to go on.
Yeah.
Like, from someone that didn't read the book and someone that read the book when they were younger, it's very hard to be like, oh, it was perfect if, there's nothing else to go on. But I'm sure, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I don't know. What bad can you say about it? I don't think there's one part in the films where I'm like, that didn't really come across as genuine as,
Yeah.
I don't ever feel like you watch Lord of the Rings to be like, it didn't really sit with me, that one. That line, delivery was kind of bad. Everything's perfect for me.
Everybody in it just kind of gets it. They get the vision. They understand the story that they're telling, and they understand what they need to do to help convey that part of the story.
Yeah.
That's it, man. It's just...
That's it. Who's your favourite character?
Mine's a bit of a weird one. King Theoden is my favourite character. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Why?
man. I don't know. I just... he seems like the most normal man. And not in terms of like he's not weird, but like the most like... Aragorn is a Dunedain. He's like... lives longer, is stronger, is more athletic. Legolas is like an immortal elf. Gimli is like a powerhouse of a dwarf. We have a wizard. We have 4 hobbits, which are like magical in their own way. And then like King Theoden is introduced in the Two Towers, the best of the trilogy, by the way. And he's just this dude who's like woken up from a coma, essentially, found out his son is dead, and then he's like, shit, I've got to like help my people, and I don't know how to do that. Let's go do this thing. And it's probably not the best move, and people tell him not to do it, but he does it because he's just trying his best, and he's just a regular dude in the middle of this like insane shit that's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. He's been possessed for months or years. I don't know. And there's the scene after he buries his son, and he's talking to Gandalf, and it's just him and Gandalf, and that's my favourite scene in the trilogy.
I love that scene.
His performance is incredible.
Yeah, no parent should ever bury their child.
Yeah, like, I'm goosebumps right now thinking about it, man.
It's great.
I don't know what it is. He's my favourite. He's just like, and I'm getting goosebumps again in Return of the King, where he's running across his legion of men, and he does his speech.
Oh, the speech!
Yeah,
unreal.
Shield shall be splintered.
Yeah,
I don't know, what is it? Shield shall be broken, spears shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, and he just goes. And they're all just screaming death.
You would go in. Your morale would be so high.
God, I consider myself a bit of a pacifist. But if I was at war and somebody said that, bruv, I'm killing some people, man. For Frodo.
It's that kind of shit. But again, like same film. The speech that Aragorn gives.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't say that.
But it is not this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, we're in. Like two dudes just giving the best speeches of their lives, fully prepared to die. One of them does die, and just, oh man. That's when leaders were real fucking men then.
I didn't get war, you know? I'm like, shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to follow this guy into war.
Yeah,
I'm going to be told by this guy to fight for him.
Yeah.
While he sits in his little office.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Aragorn's at the front.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. If I'm dying today, if you guys are ready to die, I'm ready to die. Let's fucking go.
A fucking cave troll in front of everybody.
Fucking pulls up to the gate. Yo, what's going on? I'm here.
Shit.
Come out. Yeah.
Cuts the mouth of Sauron's head off his body. Shut up. I'm like a dude in the back. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. Do you reckon there were members of the final fight, the Battle of the Black Gate? Do you reckon there are people right at the back that just never even got to fight? Because they got surrounded, obviously, to an extent. I think it was more of a semicircle. Yeah. But do you reckon there's anyone in those battles that was just like, I mean, I didn't really get to do anything, and like, that looks really cool when you like sliced the Oliphant's like legs and stuff. I didn't get to do any of that. I just, the fight was done by the time I got there, and
he's like right at the back, and he's like, oh, man,
nuts. Dude,
are you kidding me?
I didn't even get one.
Oh, what a shame. That sucks.
Because that would be like, it would be a big source of shame, isn't it? Like, your sword's never seen blood in battle, and you'd be like, I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been on the battlefield. I
just
haven't killed anyone.
I was there. I tried. Like, while nobody's looking, just quickly stab a dead body. Yeah. Like, look, there's blood on it. Look, I got one. Well, yeah, like, not after the army of the dead come in and like take all the kills from everybody. They didn't have a chance. They didn't have a fucking chance. Not their fault.
Fucking hacking.
Yeah,
they were hacking through walls.
They're
and
in
shit.
God mode,
dude. Not on. That's not cool, Aragorn. No,
yeah, that's cool. Cheats, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aragorn as well, he was the perfect casting. Viggo Mortensen was just spot on. I was reading up on him beforehand, and I've got some reasons why he is the perfect casting for Aragorn here. He enjoyed hiking, fishing, and other outdoor activities, and did these things often in his Aragorn costume so that it had believable wear and tear on it. And even when it got broken, he would sew it up himself, much as a ranger would have done.
Yes.
He had ridden horses since he was a child, and even formed such a close relationship with the horse that played Aragorn's horse Brago that he purchased the horse after production had finished and flew it back to his home. You mentioned this before, he was a skilled swordsman, so much so that the fight choreographer said that Mortensen was the best student he had ever trained.
Yeah, I literally heard that on the DVD the other day.
Yeah, and like,
cool as fuck.
Nailed the choreography first day of filming at Weathertop. And he insisted on having a real steel sword rather than a lightweight one at all times, so that he'd be able to act with the proper weight of it, which you can tell, like, in a lot of it. It feels like actual sword fighting a lot of the time. He learnt a lot of Sindarin, the Elven language, and had more lines in Sindarin than most characters in the trilogy, including some Elven characters.
Sick.
Yeah, man. Nuts.
Love that. He also took his sword with him pretty much everywhere he went.
Yeah.
So he sat eating at like a diner and he's put his sword up against the wall. And he's like practicing his sword moves and shit, like in the car park, and the police got called. As they would. A madman with a sword dressed as a fucking, a medieval knight, essentially.
It's just brilliant. He would like cool. Camp out in between days of filming and encourage other people from the cast and crew to camp with him just in the forest, because that's what Aragorn would do.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I love the story that the actor of Lurtz tells about the Aragorn fight.
Yeah.
When he's like, I'm not going to do a New Zealand accent, but...
Thank you.
He's like, I was supposed to throw the dagger next to him.
That was a slight Kiwi accent there with dagger. Oh. You went dagger.
Dagger. Supposed to throw it next to him, threw it a bit too close to him, and he fucking deflected it. And it's like, for all we know, it could be a made-up story.
Yeah.
But I'm going that it was a first take, and it's just that good.
I'm believing it. I'm believing it.
Yeah.
And
it's like the tales of old.
Thank fuck he took the job.
Oh, man.
Because he was...
Because of his son.
Because of his son, who had read the books and convinced him to take the job. He inherited the role from an Irish actor, Stuart Townsend, who was cast as Aragorn. And then I've actually got a quote here from Stuart Townsend, which I hadn't heard before. Because Stuart was recast because he was deemed too young, and they didn't realise this till quite late. This is a direct quote from Stuart Townsend. I was there rehearsing and training for 2 months, then was fired the day before filming began. After that, I was told that they wouldn't pay me because I was in breach of contract due to not having worked long enough. Can you believe that?
I wonder if that's because of, who is it, Miramax? So it was Miramax before it was New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
But it still says produced by fucking Weinstein. And that's because, someone will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's because he either, like, Miramax either wanted to get it all out as soon as possible, or they just wanted it to be one film. And Peter Jackson was like, no, we're not doing that. And then they went to New Line and got like a redone contract, but Miramax were like, the only way we're doing this is if we're still on the credits for this fucking film. So they still get...
But they fucking do anything.
No.
Yeah, it's that kind of... That shit is... Yeah, I don't know how any of it works. And it's just... it's just people trying to get their names on things to try and further their careers. Weinstein, I mean, annoyingly did do some of the funding for the movies, but... so his name has to be on the credits every time. But yeah, man, imagine seeing the movie after you got fired from it and seeing the role that you could have played.
Bro,
but also,
dude, I can't even imagine.
He never could have done it. You'd have to watch that and be like, oh yeah, fair enough. I see what they wanted from that character now. And
yeah,
I fair enough. I couldn't have done that, but it'd still be. In fact, he didn't even get paid for it. He'd done like 2 weeks of work and then nothing.
But then again, if you saw Vigo in the Get Up, you'd be like, yeah, that's fair enough.
That's understandable.
That's a man.
Yeah, that is a real man. That is a fucking... Yeah. Oh, man.
Have you seen that? There's the little clip of him, when he like comes into the hall in Rohan, obviously pushes the two doors.
I know the clip.
And everyone knows the clip.
I know the
It's
clip.
like when girls watch it and they're like... And then it's like when boys watch it and we're like...
Yeah.
It's a universal. Gives us hot, man.
It doesn't matter, man. Gay, straight, anything else.
Anything.
You look at that dude and you're like, oh, okay, that's why. That's why. Cool. But then, yeah, okay. I'll move on before I just start drooling over Viggo Mortensen more.
Yeah.
Other names thrown around for the role of Gandalf include actors such as Patrick Stewart. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Sam Neill, who is the dude from...
Sam Neill, Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I could see that. I think, Sean Connery, don't think he would
I don't know if I would have liked to have seen that.
No, me neither.
Cool.
He turned the role down. And even this one, surprising, I think could have been good. I love Ian McKellen, but even Morgan Freeman's name was mentioned for the role, which
yeah,
I think could have worked. I think obviously it would need to be. I don't know if he can do an English accent, but
I don't know
if he could. I think it could have been pretty cool. Would have fixed the maybe one of the only problems with the trilogy, in that there's no people of colour in any speaking roles. I'm sorry if you hadn't realised that before.
No, I'm trying to think of
There isn't.
maybe any of the Haradrim say any words.
No. There's some of the Uruk-hai speak, and I think they're played by
Maui.
Maori
Maui?
Maori
I don't know
people.
how to say it.
But
Sorry,
then
I
it's
just butchered
like
that word.
But then it's I'm not going to go into it. But like that's
a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation. Probably not for two white guys to talk about. Maybe.
Yes.
But that's one thing that the Rings of Power series did improve upon from the original trilogy, was having a much more diverse cast.
I know you don't have your you don't enjoy Rings of Power, do you?
I do not. Right. No.
So what I quite enjoyed it. And
good. Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, one of my favourite characters were Durin and his wife. I thought they were great characters.
The dwarves.
Yeah. I thought the dwarves were the strongest part of
that storyline. I really liked, actually. Yeah. I thought they were fantastic. Yeah, there was aspects of that series that I really did like, and there were certain storylines that I was really invested in. But then it would go back to other characters, and I would just be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's the thing that I was going to bring up earlier. Like how in the Lord of the Rings trilogy we can follow 4 different groups. Obviously, you've got Frodo and Sam, you've got Merry and Pippin, Gandalf, and like the 3 warriors or whatever. And then you've got all of Rohan, all of Gondor. All of this stuff is going on at the same time, but it doesn't feel like I'm going to a different story. Yeah. I'm staying in the same story. Whereas in Rings of Power, sometimes it did feel like, we're doing something else now, but it felt a bit too separate.
Disconnected.
Yeah.
I think, that was a big problem for me. They did eventually connect a lot of the storylines, but I feel as though it I don't know, I had lots of problems with it. I feel like, the stories did seem too far disconnected. And then by the time in the second series they were connected, I just felt like it was kind of lazy, because then at that point they were just like... I've just dropped something. Little nail that I've been playing with while I'm talking. Yeah, and then the second series, I just felt like they were just relying too much upon stuff from the movies to make people be interested in the story. Like they'd introduce certain aspects like the Balrog, and it's like, I don't know if the Balrog actually was discovered at this point in the Lord of the Rings lore. I think you're just trying to wave something and go, look guys, look, it's the Balrog. This series is really good.
The only thing I know about it is obviously the dwarves dug too greedily and dug too deep and found the shadow. I don't know if it was then, or if it was way before that, or if it was closer to Lord of the Rings kind of time.
I don't know.
Someone in the comments will know, and they'll be like, it was actually this time and this time, and this is why. And if that's the correct time, cool.
Then great. Maybe I'll rewatch it at some point, but not anytime soon.
I had a theory. It's not a theory, it's just something funny. So obviously, there's the eagle theory and why they couldn't fly to Mordor and just drop it off. The scene in Fellowship of the Ring, Gandalf's fighting the Balrog. He's just taking it down. You shall not pass. Bam, bam. Balrog falls down, grabs his leg with the little whip. I don't know why I'm doing sound checks.
No, I'm loving it.
You get what I mean? I'm painting a picture, and then Gandalf's holding on to the thing, and he's like, "Fly, you fools!" and then drops off. What if he was just like, he wasn't saying go,
run.
Leave. He was just like, "Fuck, I've got 2 seconds to say something. Fly, whatever you've got to fly, literally fly, you fools." Get the eagles and fucking fly.
I've never thought of that before.
I'm fully not taking credit for it, because I'm pretty sure George said that to me when we were watching it. But imagine if that was the thing, and he was just literally like, "Guys, you just fly."
He meets up with them in the Two Towers, and he's like, "What do you mean Sam and Frodo are on their own and you left them? I told you to take the eagles." And they're like,
"Yeah, I called them. They've been waiting for a couple weeks now."
Oh, that is brilliant. Yeah.
It'll change the way you watch
it. Just fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools. Idiots.
Yeah, don't walk.
God damn.
I can't show you the way, just fly.
Yeah. Because I'm going to rain this Balrog and I'm going to fly him to Mount Doom.
That is really fucking good.
For the after party and shit.
He's like, Frodo and Sam are fucking where? You don't know where Merry and Pippin are? For fuck's sake.
God, love it. It's your character getting like killed off in D&D and then you're coming back. You miss a session in D&D, you come back, you're like, right guys, where are we? The group split up. These two have gone that way, these two have gone that way. The three of them are over there and you're like,
Jesus Christ.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
But obviously in Lord of the Rings there is a reason why that happens. Why the Fellowship split up. And I genuinely think that's one of its strongest points. Is it's not just Frodo being like, I'm just going to go because of plot point. Mm-hmm. That's a terrible way to explain it. He does go because of a plot point, but it's because he doesn't want to put anyone else in danger.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, there is so much death and everything going on because of this small thing. Like, I just have to get it away from everyone. And Merry and Pippin see that and they're like, cool, we'll just distract the Uruk-hai, and Boromir comes and he takes the 3 arrows and shit. Like, everything has its purpose and it all leads into their storyline, and they obviously all come together at the end, and it's great.
Yeah, I think it is such like a classic cliche trope of like, I have this burden and I have to separate myself from everybody, otherwise I'm going to hurt them. And I feel like you see that in lots of places, but Lord of the Rings does it so perfectly because it makes sense. You see the repercussions of Frodo being around men and Boromir and
weak men,
and him losing his mind, and you see the reason why he has to do it on his own, why he thinks he has to do it on his own. And then if it wasn't for Sam following him, he would have turned out like Gollum, 100%.
Yeah, dude, that bit always gets me, like goosebumps and just like emotional when Frodo's like, I'm going alone. Sam's like,
and I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I know you are, and I'm going with you.
And then right
Sam,
after
you
having,
can't swim. Oh, dude.
Right after having fucking Boromir's death scene, I would have gone with you, my brother, to the very end.
Yeah.
To the very fires of Mordor. It makes me. I've just watched it at the end of December, but it makes me want to watch it again. Don't
you leave him, Samwise Gamgee.
He is the best.
It's too early for tears.
It is too early for tears.
He is the best. Like, Sam is, to me, it's Sam's story. I know it's Frodo's story, but Sam is the reason why Frodo was able to do it. I think without Frodo, he would have succumbed to the ring. There are multiple points where he would have succumbed to the ring.
I think Sam is maybe the character that overcomes the most as well. Yeah. He's the one where before he's even left the Shire is...
Yeah, he's scared.
he cares about, if he makes one more step, that's the furthest away from home he's ever been. You know, Merry and Pippin have travelled around and they've been in Farmer Maggot's field and they've gone everywhere. But
I saw this thing that was like, the only reason why the ring got destroyed is because Merry knew a shortcut to the pub.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, the ferry, let's fucking go. Yeah. That's so true. Well, I mean, that's what you get. Merry and Pippin, man. But and then Sam becomes Samwise the Brave and fucking defeats Shelob single-handedly.
So cool. And the bit when he's walking up the stairs.
Yeah, making the noises.
Yeah. And that's from my old gaffer. So sick. Are there any bad points of the trilogy?
Great question. We've brought up it has to be said, the lack of diversity in the casting. Yeah. Despite the casting being perfect for each character, I stand by saying that. It is like seeing it from like a more modern perspective now. It is kind of hard not to see the lack of non-white faces in the cast. That's one thing that I will say. I will say, I mean, there's not a lot of female characters, but Peter Jackson is actually, and Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh did a good job of expanding the very few female characters that were in the story already. So I will say that is, a benefit to the film is that, you know, there could be more great female characters, but actually they did the best with what they could with the source material. I
think it plays into the story as well because of how you know, how Middle Earth was at that time, with Eowyn like being like, I can fight, I can do this thing, and Theoden's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
you know, look after the women and children, look after the caves and stuff. And it's quite a poignant thing about like how just women just aren't allowed to fight, so she just does it herself, puts on the helmet and like,
Great,
you know, kills the Witch King. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
to
incredible.
me, that's such an insanely cool moment without it being performative. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a, hey, we got a strong woman here. It's like, she's
Girl
always been a strong
power.
woman.
It's like, no, she's just fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah, she like, even when she's training with the sword, like on her own in the hall, like she's always been good at like that kind of stuff.
She done being good already.
Yeah. And the Witch King's like, no man can kill me, and she's like, motherfucker, I am no man. Fuck you. Jukes him in the face, like,
yeah,
dude,
she's a fucking badass.
oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. If there was if there was kind of more female warriors, then we wouldn't have that much of a cool story in in that. And most of the riders of Rohan are played by female horsewomen, which is
because they were better riders.
They were better riders and they had long hair, so it was great. They're there. They're just, you just can't. They've got beards on, so just like dwarven women.
Simply just spring out of holes from the ground.
But yeah, in terms of, other than those two things I've just said, I mean, I don't know. There's a couple, holding up to today's standards, there's a couple ropey bits of green screen and CGI, but I can look past that because they're counterbalanced by some of the most beautiful landscapes and cinematography and costume and set and everything. I can look past that person.
Do you ever watch the Corridor Crew on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah.
So they've done a big Lord of the Rings deep dive, and like, even when they point out the bloopers or like the little movie mistakes and stuff like that, they're still obsessed with how they did it.
Yeah.
Like, it might look like, you know, you can see a clipping. I think it's when Gandalf hands his hat to Bilbo. There's like a slight clip of like the overlay where they've obviously got Gandalf on one frame and then Bilbo on the other. And you know, if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't be able to see it. But they still point that out, and they're even just like, how, or like the fact that hat wasn't there, but you've still made it look like you're passing. They're still like, cool.
The rest of the scene is seamless, so it's you're absolutely right, and that's the thing, is like the few downfalls that it has can easily be overlooked because of how good the rest of it is. Do you have any bad points about the trilogy at all? Is there anything coming to mind for you?
I mean, nothing at all. The thing that I love about it is it's never going to be one of those films that comes onto a streaming site and then has that little before thing, you know, before the film starts, where it's like, just so you know, this was filmed 20 years ago and it's got some views are different now. It will never have that because it's a fucking fictional fantasy place where their problems are their problems, and it just all kind of leads into the story. Like, elves hate dwarves, but then by the end of it, you got a best friend that are an elf and a dwarf.
Yeah, fucking
story arc, man. Like, you've got all that kind of shit. So I don't feel like it's ever gonna get to a point where it looks old.
No,
because you know how some films now, you'll go back and watch them and it's like, oh, the CGI looks a bit shit, and like, like, as much as I enjoy the prequels, some of the prequel shit, I'm like, ooh, it's getting a bit dated now. But Lord of the Rings, because it was shot on location, it's practical effects, it's practical suits, it's fucking everything is just there as a tangible thing, and it's in front of you and you can see it, and it just won't ever have that effect that the CGI thing does. What's going on with my brain?
You were there. You had it.
I was on a point. It's going to age like fine wine. Yeah. And I love that about it.
Yeah.
My only gripe, I said I had no gripes.
You've got
Two
one
Towers
little
for
one.
me. Two Towers for me is my least favourite. I know, but I still love it. But it's my least favourite out of the trilogy.
Is it because it's like the middle one? It's there's not as much conclusion of story in there.
I think it's a personal thing, and it's because I had it on DVD and I didn't ever have the first one on DVD until after. So I rewatched it, mainly just because of the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
So that one for me, I'm like, oh, I can kind of skip it. But I still don't skip it. I never skip any of it. And the Battle of Helm's Deep is, for me, the best battle in cinema, maybe?
Mate, I don't think that would be controversial to say. No. I think that is... Yeah, it is incredible. I was reading up on some trivia. Apparently, I don't know the validity of this. Apparently, I've never been on live television before. According to this trivia, I'm not going to say apparently again because I won't be able to get it out of my head. According to this bit of trivia, they filmed 20 hours of Helm's Deep footage with this rain machine going off all the time and edited it down to what we saw in the movie, which, I mean, how long does that fight go on for? Because it is a lot of the movie. 7 minutes. Fuck me.
I think Jeez. It is. I might be wrong.
Let me...
yeah.
Helm's Deep.
Here's when you're like, it's 7 minutes.
Yeah. 22, this person on Reddit is saying, but actually I don't know. The AI thing said it was 40 minutes, but I don't like listening to the AI bit.
Nah. Are there any extended parts of that fight in the extended editions, or did they put the whole fight into the theatrical cut?
That's a good question. Okay, this thing is saying the battle at Helm's Deep is a 40-minute war scene. So yeah, you were right, 40 minutes.
About 4 minutes.
Canonically, it happens all the way throughout the night. And to answer your question, I'm not sure if there is parts of the movie in the extended edition that weren't in the theatrical, but I do know Arwen was supposed to be in the fight and was completely cut out of it because they felt like it was deviating too much from the book, which I can get. They would have pissed off a lot of neckbeards if they'd added Arwen in, I think. But I think I would have loved to see it. I thought her expansion of her character for the Fellowship was really sick, and I liked it.
I liked the come and claim him bit.
Yeah, Liv Tyler's fucking cool, man. And yeah, I would have loved to see another character there. I mean, if it was done right, you can still see her at one little point in a wide shot when they bridge the gate. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to toss me. That's a different bit, but that's one of my favourite lines. Yeah, nice.
So good.
Oh, and that bit's just so good. It's just
amazing.
Man, there's something about it. It's man. The funny bits are funny, but without being too like corny or like a Marvel movie. It's like genuinely funny.
This is exactly what me and George said. Like, the humor is there, and it works without it being a punchline. It's not like Gimli for me is a funny character, but that's just him as a person. He's not the stupid funny character that doesn't really do much. He's Gimli the dwarf who's a warrior, but his monologues where he's not even trying to be funny.
Yeah.
He's like, we dwarves are natural sprinters.
Just about to say that.
Very dangerous over short distances. Yeah. Like, it shouldn't be funny, but it is funny.
It's his deliverance as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Nick were quoting that the other day. We had to run for the train, and she was really out of breath afterwards. And I was like, "You dwarves are natural sprinters. That's why we had to run for too long."
Bro. Yeah, so good.
Best movies ever.
Yeah, Fellowship for me is my favourite one.
Fair. That's the one I've seen the most.
Yeah, there's something very... I think because it's the start of the journey, and it's very, very fantasy, that first film. Yeah. With like the Forest of Lothlorien and meeting Galadriel for the first time, and seeing the fight between the two wizards and seeing the eagles.
Going into a dungeon and fighting orcs.
Goblins and orcs and a big fire dragon. Like, it's very, very fantasy. And
very much like a D&D campaign.
It's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Drums in the deep. And suddenly you're like, roll for initiation.
Yeah.
Let's go. What would you give it out of 10?
10?
Yeah, 10s across the board.
10s across the board.
What a wonderful, wonderful trilogy that will never, ever, ever be replaced. I think it's at the top of the leaderboard. I don't think it's ever going to be overtaken. As much as I love the Dune films, no, never going to overtake it.
They won't, because nothing ever could, because that trilogy was like lightning in a bottle. It came at a period of cinema where you were able to get that funding to do years of pre-production and do that amount of practical stuff. Like, there's just not the money or the time in Hollywood to do that anymore, unfortunately. I think everything's being put down to last minute CGI. I mean, unless it's like a smaller director and like a more independent space. I just what we got there was very special with the trilogy. And
I find it crazy that he was like essentially just a small time director.
Yeah,
done a couple horror films and
literally had the idea. Apparently, him and Fran Walsh, or is it Philippa Boyens? One of Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens is his wife, and they were planning to write a fantasy movie like Lord of the Rings, and then everything they wrote was too similar to Lord of the Rings, so eventually we're just like, fuck it, let's just see if we can make this instead.
Amazing.
And it's just somebody said yes to letting them do it, and the rest was history, man.
Always follow your dreams.
Yeah,
you never know. Shoot your shot. You
never know. This is the next thing that I'm playing with here. This is a pen, and it's got a little hand on it, so you can
nice.
Yeah, man. Just so you know, every single episode we've ever recorded, underneath the camera, I'm playing around with something. You know, I need something to occupy my hands. Hey.
Oh, don't watch The Hobbit. Don't bother with it.
Yep.
Didn't really enjoy it.
Sorted. Read the book though. The book's really good.
Yeah, book's cool. I rewatched the first one, extended edition. Finished it and was like, what the fuck was that? I've seen it before and I enjoyed it, but after watching going from the Lord of the Rings into The Hobbit,
awful.
Oh, what
awful.
A fucking slog.
It is. It's just there's just the way they filmed it on, like the type of cameras that they filmed it on. It just looks awful. Too much CGI. Way too much CGI. There wasn't enough pre-production involved. And
they used practical for the goblins. I just watched a video.
They did.
You know the goblins in the Goblin King's place.
Yeah.
They were all practical.
And then they just CGI'd over the top of it.
Yeah, because it was far too hot for the actors for that many people. But then I was like, how the fuck did you do Moria then?
Yeah.
With that many people, like they were all fine.
Just less health and safety rules back then.
Listen, man, we were built differently in '97.
Yeah, exactly.
Now everyone's like,
I'm too warm.
Feeling a bit sad today. I'm allowed to say it. I get a pass.
I want to live in the alternate reality where because it was. Oh shit.
That's all right. Aragon wouldn't care about that.
No, he wouldn't. He'd
CGI my finger, please.
It wasn't supposed to be Peter Jackson directing the Hobbit movies originally. It was supposed to be Guillermo del Toro.
Ooh,
He was originally signed on to direct them, and then I think it was like scheduling conflicts, or I think maybe a disagreement with him and the production company. It might have even been them pushing to make it 3 movies that made him drop out of it, and then they had to bring Peter Jackson on pretty last minute because they didn't have anybody else to replace him. Peter Jackson was supposed to just be a producer.
Yeah, because I remember there was a video of the behind the scenes of The Hobbit where Peter Jackson is so fucking stressed at the fact that they start shooting the day after he got put onto the film, and like he's got no scripts written, and he's like
he's just making shit up as he's going on, which is, you know, very shows the difference. We've seen stranger things happen. And
it didn't to be a trilogy, did it?
It didn't. It should have been 1 movie, 2 movies at best. Apparently I've read online there's like a supercut of the Hobbit movies where they condense it down into 1 long movie, and it's so much better because it just cuts out all the bullshit and you basically just get all the good bits from the book. And apparently that's like the best version of watching it. I've never seen that though. I would one day. I think I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And just cut out all the shit stuff that we don't need.
Don't need it.
No. But yeah, there we go.
Lord of the Rings, everyone. Once again.
Nice. What are your views on the Fable trailer that came out this week, last week?
Fable was an interesting one for me. So I watched the trailer and I watched the developer. It's like a 10-minute video on how they've done it and stuff.
I watched that as well. Yeah.
I think they're coming from a good place. Like they've very much kept the original trilogy in mind when making this, down to like how people react around you, you know, buying and selling houses, getting a job, doing all this kind of cool stuff. I'm intrigued, to say the least. I want to see more because I don't know if it's lost its cartoonish charm of like the originals, where You know, they almost look like Kingdom Hearts characters, almost, where they've got like weirdly big feet and like weirdly big hands. And big heads,
big puffy trousers. And
it also kind of worries me that, you know, I actually can't remember whether they were American or British when they were talking in the video, but Fable is a very British game, and you know, you can get what's his face from the IT crowd. I can't remember his name.
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, you can get him in that. That's cool. We're onto something.
That. That was yeah.
We got Matey Boy from fucking Peep Show. Not your dad. The other one.
Not my dad. Wait, who's in it?
Fucking Super Hands is in it.
No way.
Yeah.
Matt King's in it. That's sick.
So you've got these, I'm going to say British icons, right?
Yeah. National treasures.
I want it to retain that like real dry British humour, because in like Fable 3 you had John Cleese was like your butler in like the little world.
Sick.
And I really liked that. I don't think he was a butler. He was like in this alternate world where you'd pick shit. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played that. But it just had that very like almost Monty Python type humour to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know if we've gone too far from that. I'm not going to say that I'm not excited, because I am. It's Fable. It's, you know, Fable 2 was probably one of the reasons why I like RPGs so much and why I like fantasy games so much. Mm-hmm. So I'm going into it with an open mind. Hope it's going to be good. It just looks a bit too much like Hogwarts Legacy at the moment.
I get you. Yeah.
And I'll leave it there. But yeah.
Yeah, fair. They've made it look quite real. Yeah, I do see what you mean. There's less of the kind of cartoony aspect. It does, for me, it looks very British. Like there's a bit in the developer's video where they show you 4 different kind of locales that you can visit in the game, and they all just look like the English countryside. Like there's nothing that you'd kind of find elsewhere around the world. It's all just kind of like rolling hills, farmland, little village, little town, and that feels really cool to kind of, that really kind of cements it as like a British feeling game. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The thing that I love most about our country maybe is our dry humour, so that is necessary, and we'll have to see. I mean, it's early days. I think it comes out later on this year, but
apparently so.
Yeah,
autumn 26.
Which is nuts. I think it wasn't like announced a while ago, right? But we didn't have anything on it.
It was announced a while ago.
Yeah.
It was officially announced in July 2020.
Wow.
So
fucking hell.
We heard nothing for a good fucking while.
Yeah, okay.
And that was a trailer with Richard Ayoade in it. It was like a small teaser trailer, yeah. So, or unless the teaser trailer came after, I don't know. But yeah, we've known about it for ages, and you know, a 5-year development cycle isn't unheard of now.
Yeah,
we might get. My main worry is that we're going to get to the end of the year, and it's going to be overshadowed by a game like GTA 6 or whatever game it is now.
Honestly, I'd rather play Fable than GTA 6.
Oh, dude, same.
Yeah.
I just, is it going to get delayed? Is it going to be like, are they going to purposely delay it because it comes out on the same day or same month as some other big game? And it's like, you need to understand, as much as everyone loves Grand Theft Auto and they love Red Dead Redemption because they're great games in their own right, but not everyone wants to play them. Like when Baldur's Gate came out, everyone was like, why is everyone playing this game? And it's like, because that's what we've been waiting to play. We wanted to play something like this. Like, we didn't want to have another Call of Duty. We wanted something to escape into, and Fable could be that next game that we get a real good escapism from instead of GTA. But
yeah, GTA is just like, GTA used to be like an exaggerated version of our world. Yeah, it just feels like real world at this point. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to escape to there because that's sad. That makes me sad. But like a video game with English countryside and giant vegetable patches where I can go and be mean to people in a village. I don't know.
Yeah,
that sounds
kick
sick.
A chicken.
Kick a chicken, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I think I am going to go back and play more of the previous games because they were like, I don't know if I ever owned a Fable game. They were just like games that I'd play at other people's houses and stuff. So I was familiar with them, but I think there's a lot of catching up on that I can do there. Yeah,
I mean, you can get Fable Anniversary on Steam.
I've actually got it downloaded on my Steam Deck still where you had it on yours. I just need to like actually buy it and then it'll be mine. It's downloaded but just not bought. Yeah.
Only thing that's annoying is you can't get Fable 2.
What do you mean? Why not?
You can only play Fable 2 on the Xbox 360 or Xbox One if you've got an Xbox One.
I think I've got an Xbox in the attic.
Yeah.
One of those two. I can't remember.
I don't know why, because like you can do Fable
weird.
3, I think, but Fable 2 just never. It was something to do with like the code. It was just super hard to. It's super hard to port even now. People are emulating it and they're still like it doesn't run as good as it does on native hardware.
That's so weird.
Hey, it's that good of a game.
Yeah, man.
At least I hope to go back to it one day and be like, yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, I reckon so. I think it will. There'll be aspects of it that will be of its time, but I think all in all, I think if you played it as a kid, you'd still enjoy it.
Yeah. You a Dragon Ball guy?
Not at all. No,
not
never
at all.
Seen it.
Ah, dude. If you like Superman, you'll like Dragon Ball. It's the same story.
Sick.
Dragon Ball Super is coming back, which is for me incredible.
Nice.
Dragon Ball Super ended in 2018, and the manga carried on. So Dragon Ball Super is the adaptation of the manga, but I'm pretty sure the last arc was kind of ended before the manga was finished being written. Mm-hmm. So there are slight like differences in that, but it basically stopped around volume 9. Like the anime stopped at volume 9 of the books, but we've got like 23 volumes. So there's like this whole chunk of story that just hasn't been told yet in anime. And as of 3 days ago from this recording, they announced Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol, which is the next story. Introduces a character called Moro, who's essentially a planet eater. Very cool villain.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that we get more Dragon Ball. They're also redoing the first arc. I'm sure everyone knows about this anyway, but they're redoing the first arc or two of Super. So when that first came out, a lot of people were like, I didn't really like the animation as much because it felt rushed. So they're just going back and they're being like, cool.
Nice.
For new viewers or for older viewers.
I was going to say, would that be a good kicking off point for me if I was going to start watching?
No.
Or should I start with original Dragon Ball?
It's really hard to recommend someone to watch original Dragon Ball because there's a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And it also drags on. Like, it was essentially the way that it was done before is, the anime would be animated, and then when it got up to the manga, they'd have to add filler episodes to wait for the manga to be finished, and then they'd continue. So you get a lot of like kind of bloat. Some people really like it. Some people, it's quite nostalgic to have those episodes, but you'd probably want to go for like Dragon Ball Kai, and that's like a condensed version of Dragon Ball Z with like updated, they've remastered it essentially, cut out all the bloat. Story's the story. Some people will say, no, you're wrong, but
hey,
anything you do,
yeah,
it's fucking, someone's going to have something bad to say about it. Super excited. I'm a Dragon Ball guy, so let's go. Next on my list, I got He-Man.
He-Man. I'll be honest, I'm familiar with the characters. I've never watched the cartoon, but the movie looks pretty cool. I mean, I think some of the character design looks really cool. I think the look of the world overall looks super just kind of dull and shit, and like
very CGI.
It looks like Asgard from the Thor movie in fucking 2013, and it's like, have we not progressed this from this sort of design and CGI style in fucking 13 years? I feel like we've seen that so many times, so that is just completely unexciting to me. But the characters look kind of cool. I think the casting for He-Man, he looks incredible, looks really good. But again, I don't know really anything about it, so
no,
I don't.
It's one of those ones where I'm gonna watch it, whether it's in cinema or whether it's on physical release when it comes out. It kind of reminds me of like I'm going into it. When I watched the trailer, I felt like I was watching the trailer for Dungeons and Dragons, the D&D film.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it could be just a fun film, like a fun Sunday film, and I'm completely here for that. If I want just a little 2-hour escapism, cool, it's funny. You got
action
He-Man,
adventure,
big dude, big muscles, skeleton dude, cool, easy.
Skeletor looks fucking sick. It's just a shame it's Jared Leto under the costume.
It's skeleton time, or whatever he says.
It's Morbius time.
It's Skeletor time, yeah. Next up, I got the new Daredevil season 2 trailer that came out today.
Yes.
And this is more of your bag than it is my bag.
Spoilers, if
I don't think a trailer counts as spoilers.
No, it's in the trailer.
Jessica Jones is back.
Jessica Jones is motherfucking back. You knew that's what I was going to say. I'm so hyped.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I fucking love that character. She's so cool. And
Give us another season of Defenders. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah, I was going to agree with you, and I was like, do I agree with you?
I enjoyed Defenders. Like, I didn't watch Iron Fist because I heard that was trash.
It wasn't the best, no.
Yeah.
It was the weakest of those series, I think.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed it at the time, but
I think for me, Defenders felt like the in-between of Daredevil season 2 and 3.
Yeah,
So
it was.
Carried on the story.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. I think the rest of it I wasn't as invested in. But yeah, I mean, we'll see with this next series of Daredevil. I like that character a lot. And we'll just have to see. I don't know when that's coming out.
Oh, that's March. March or May? April.
No way. Okay,
One of the months.
March, April, or May.
Soon.
Cool. March. Okay, that is very soon.
Time for me to finish season 1.
Yeah, you should. It gets better as it goes on.
Okay. I guess these ones are quick fire ones because we don't really know much more about them.
Yeah.
We've got Lobo, Supergirl.
Sick. Looks great.
Cool. Jason Momoa. Kind of looks like Kratos, but with black hair.
Yeah, and on a motorbike.
Rides a motorbike.
Smokes a cigar. Cool dude.
Just guys being guys.
Let's move on.
Sophie Turner as Lara Croft got a first photo.
I take back everything I said. She looks amazing. She looks really
like
cool.
Lara Croft.
Looks like Lara Croft, man.
I like the little glasses.
The glasses,
very
great.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back in. I'm in. Yeah.
Oh. Back in.
I'm back in.
We've got one last thing.
Shit. Oh shit.
Oh my goodness. Some Star Wars news that everyone knows about. Kathleen Kennedy has stepped down.
Yes.
And Lord
Dave
Filoni's
Jabroni has taken the reins, which is I think good and bad. I love a lot of what Dave, I forgot his actual name, Dave Jabroni does.
Jabroni, yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of what he's done, but he expressed that he wasn't the biggest fan of Andor Series 2, which makes me...
like that.
Yeah, that was I think the best thing Star Wars has ever done, so it makes me worried that if he's in charge and he wasn't a big fan of it, while I like the things that he's produced, I'm like, I also want to see more of that kind of espionage Star Wars stuff as well, and is that going to get pushed to the side now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to... We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, I don't want to say I'm excited for the future of Star Wars because I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm open to the idea that it couldn't get worse.
Yeah, I think... I mean...
I'm optimistic to an extent.
I don't know if it's stupid of us to say that we've seen the bottom of where Star Wars can go, because I feel like they could absolutely go further down. But
they could go worse.
Yeah, I think we've had some good stuff recently. We'll have to just wait and see, I think.
Yeah.
Dave Jabroni,
we've got
man.
Mando and Grogi. Mando and Grogi. Grogi.
Mando and
Jabronis and Grogis.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah, we're going loopy.
I'm losing my mind, man. I'm so tired now.
Yeah, dude. It is what it is. That's just how we roll. We talk about Lord of the Rings, we get a bit sleepy.
Yeah, man. Forget about it.
It's just how it goes. Forget about it. We've been Trunks on the Outside.
Yes, we have. Thanks for putting your trunks on the outside.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was good, right?
Yeah. Sweet.
Put them back the right way round now. No, I took it too far. See you later.
Thanks for watching. Bye.